storms are beyond, y'all.
SOB.
Street dance lifestyle, y'all. Yeah. SDL, y'all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Word. It's SDL, yo. It's time to tell the truth of the where, what, why, and when, and who. How we flip the unpredictable wordplay. You hear them stories, but it's still the same old say. Hey.
All right, so you hear me fine, right?
I hear you clearly.
All right, good.
Let's get this thing started.
Hey, yo, what's up, yo? What's going on? How y'all cats feeling? All right. Hey, what's up, baby? What's up, shorty? How you doing? Come over here for a second, baby. Let me holler at you. Yo, bro, come over here. Come over here for a second, bro. Let me holler at you, too. Listen up, people. Come get an earload of this. Not the same old. Come get that left field shit. The left field rhythms. Left field isn't that ordinary hip-hop group. It's defined by the funk left in vintage blazers at your local thrift shops. The essence of African rhythms born on the corner of South Bronx, breakdancing on the streets of Japan. Non-categorical styles, metaphorical, crafted on planet rock. Natural like a lunchtime freestyle. Revolutionary native tongues resided on the left field of your mind, banging for attention. Left field rhythms, y'all. Rhythms, y'all.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring in my next guest properly, as I always do with my other guests. My next guest is someone I would consider to be my little brother in dance age. In my opinion, he's a true fan of the culture and approaches what he does with a pure first-time enthusiasm. From hip-hop to house, he is someone that has witnessed many events that many only heard about, and also has had a hand in being the gateway to certain historical connections, making him an OG in his own right. Gentle ladies and men, I welcome to you, C-Boogie.
Thank you.
All right. Now, this is SDL number 14.
Hold up, Mike. That was a hell of that was a little introduction. Wow. I appreciate you, bro, for that.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
You like
I didn't know you was coming like that, yo. Big up to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Come on now. I stay on the journalism. I stay on
Word
it.
out.
But let me continue here. This is SDL, second season, number 14. This is the third music episode. So basically, we're going to be going over music terminology, relating it to hip hop, house, and also the dance. So we're going to be talking a little bit of musical jargon, and then we're going to go into the dance.
Right.
No need to mention my guest again. We already know who he is. What's going on, brother?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Can't call it, trying to bunker down as the country gets crazy over this COVID. You know what I mean? So it's crazy right now. Everything is starting to lock down, but, me and the fam trying to maintain, bro. You know what I mean?
Okay. Let's go into it. Who are you and where are you from?
My name is C-Boogie Corey. I'm from Connecticut. Travel the world, but my home base is Connecticut. Born in Bridgeport, Connecticut. One of the illest places on this planet. Believe that. A lot of talent in Connecticut. Yeah, man. That's my roots right there. Shout out to everybody from CT. You know what I mean?
Nice. We're basically going to be going through this interview in three subjects. The first subject is melodic lyricism, CT's hip hop dance culture, and third, artistic freedom.
Right.
So let's dive right into it. Melodic lyricism.
All right.
You are a lyricist, sir.
Main take. That's, you know what? Hip hop to me, we all know about all right, let's just say into music, hip hop music. Let's just stick there for a sec. So hip hop music to me, the lyrics always had to be key as well as the beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, the beat is what motivates a rapper to rhyme. So you can't go without the other. A DJ or a producer, whatever. You won't get that colorful bar if the music doesn't move the writer. You know what I mean? So for me, lyricists are I I listen to lyrics. I don't just hear the beat and have that short attention span most of people have nowadays. I want to hear it. I want to see what you're talking about. I want to see where you're coming from. I want to know about you, how you express yourself, how colorful you can make things, so the lyrics is mad important when it comes to hip hop. You can't have one without the other. You know what I mean?
Okay, completely agree. Okay, we're going to go into melody. What is melody? A sequence of notes that is musically satisfying, like a tune.
Right.
Um, when and what made you begin to pursue hip hop? When did you decide to do it?
So you mean for the writing, right? Just lyrically and
I mean, in general,
general,
like we're
like
talking
the
about
culture. So growing up,
conception.
yeah, like hip hop. I always been around it. I grew up in these projects in Bridgeport called Marina Village, and back in the day when we used to have these hip hop battles, man. There'd be cats playing in the park, and I remember these two. The most ultimate battle I seen was these two cats. They were twins. I think they were Puerto Rican too, and you know, they were getting in a circle and they was battling this dude, and they would like switch off and do the same moves, but they were twins. So they would pop, he'll leave out, other dude come in, he start popping the same way. You know what I mean? And when I seen that, I'm like, man, this culture is no joke. That's when I started. That's when I really wanted to dance. When I seen that, when I seen how creative these dudes was, and I'm talking 80s, bro. I'm talking like 82, 84. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm,
when I seen that, I used to practice what I seen them doing in the park or what I seen them doing in front of my crib. You know what I mean? We had a little walkways and little fences. They used to battle right in front of there all the time, always in front of my crib. Because one of the dudes who was nice at breaking lived like a couple of houses up, a couple apartments up. So they used to
mm,
always congregate over there, And when
mm,
I seen that, man, I seen that magic. I'm like, damn, like hip hop is no joke. Now, on the writing tip, I'm gonna say my first song that really, like I love obviously a lot of old schools. I just posted something on Facebook. When was the first time you fell in love with hip hop? And my
mm,
message was Roxy and Shantae, UTFO. Like
mm,
those dudes were nasty, bro. And I just love how they were playing with the beat and while they was flowing over the beat, like when you was talking about melody. These dudes were some of the dudes who can. UTFO was that crew, man. And I know there's a lot of greats out there, but for me personally, when I heard that, I'm like, yo, I could do this. Obviously, Run DMC, LL, you know, Treacherous, all these dudes obviously was an influence to me. I wrote my
mm.
first rap song in the third grade. That's what, 85, bro. 85.
Wow.
Wrote my first rhyme for school. I was in the third grade, and we had to do a project for drinking and driving or something like that. And I was writing poetry because that's kind of how I started. I started with poetry first, just trying to get
Mm.
rhymes to match and say colorful things. And I got chicken pox, bro. Yo, so I couldn't. So the contest went out. I wrote the song.
Mm,
I got chicken pox. My mom gets a phone call saying, "Hey, you actually won a contest, bro. You won the drinking and driving contest, and the winner will have their whole class go to a local radio station. Still is it's local in Connecticut. We be 108 back in the day.
mhm.
And my whole class sung this song, and I'm sitting in bed with the chicken pox, but they called me up, and I'm listening through the phone of them jacking up my
That
song. But at
sucks.
least I got it on there, so I was on the radio in '85, son. In '85, son. Nah, but yeah, that was like when I won the contest. I'm like, okay, I got something here. You know what I mean? And
Mm,
so you might as well say from '85 on, I've been writing from and dancing because they both go hand in hand with each other. You know what I mean? And just
yeah.
dove into music. So That's my story. I'm sticking with it. Feel me?
Yeah, for me, musically, I got into hip hop, I want to say 88 or
Mm,
87. And it was Public Enemy, Yo Bum Rush the Show.
word.
And I remember looking at the album cover for hours because it was so graphic to me.
Word.
Like the front with Flavor Hands is
The
touching the
turntable. Yep,
turntable,
yep.
and then you turn to the back of the cover. You got the G Posse,
Yeah.
all of them with the bubble goose
Yeah.
and the
Classic, bro.
Lincoln. So
So
gangster. I remember
gangster.
just watching. Yeah, man.
That's another thing, man. It's like you can see in my background, I got albums.
Hmm.
We don't have a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
that. You know what I mean? Like the art meant
Mm.
a lot to people. Like the what you portrayed on that cover, man. Well, sometimes you wouldn't even
You gotta
know the
walk it.
artist, right? You see the cover and be like,
Yep.
yo, this is dope, just off the cover. Not even hearing, don't even know who it is. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that was inspiring, man. Like I feel you on that though. With that turntable, remember, and the big hand coming across. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Flavor's hand
Yeah.
is like, wow.
Word up, bro.
Yeah. And another track that I remember was Jungle Brothers, Jim Brown's track.
Yes. Yes.
That
JB's.
song,
I mean,
when that song came out,
what's crazy. And
wow.
what's crazy about them too is that, you know what I'm saying, like they did the house thing too. So again, it was
Real
bridging, you know what I mean? It was just the culture
Yeah.
was all around. It brought the dance with the hip hop with everything, man. It was blending, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right. Let's get into the grits of this
Yeah,
interview. Okay. First subject, cadence.
right.
Um, well, there's four different cadences. There's an imperfect cadence, a perfect cadence, an interrupted cadence, and a plagal cadence. And I want to say, like, let's say for music, we have the first chord, second chord, third chord, fourth chord, fifth chord, sixth chord, seventh chord, and basically the second chord is weak. Um, the fourth chord is weak. It's a subdominant. The sixth chord is weak. So I want to ask you, let's talking about imperfect
Right,
chords, imperfect
right,
cadence, right? Now, imperfect cadence is basically from the first chord to the fifth chord. So it kind of leaves a bit of suspense there.
right.
And then dance, it'll go like 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 1. So your understanding of a imperfect cadence, like, can you tell me like do you have like a song? Can you spit something, an artist that will represent imperfect
All
cadence?
right. So, and we just talked about this too.
Hmm.
Do you want me to stick with my crew or anybody out there so people understand? Like,
That's up to you. We're touching imperfect cadence right
all
now,
right.
for
So
now.
again, explain imperfect cadence, and then I'm gonna do it.
So an imperfect cadence is basically going from the first chord to the fifth chord.
Right.
So you're kind of leaving an open for something else because the fifth in any sequence is the opening statement. It's the statement that leaves the da 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 da.
Right. Right.
So it has to be continued.
Right.
So it's almost like one, you're beginning, then you make a statement, and it's almost like it wants to go back
Yes. Right.
home. So it's like it's kind of left out there like,
Yeah.
huh? So
So
yeah.
here's I wrote this actually yesterday. This is the song I actually sent you
Mm,
early this morning, and I'm surprised I still memorize it. But like the
okay.
first line in this, right? It's like, yo, the world is a dangerous place. Sometimes it's hard to keep up the pace, right?
Mm-hmm.
We trying to escape, blowing trees trying to escape. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
so I come right off of shout out to my man Ever Wonder. You know me, we
Peace out, Wanda.
yes. Shout out to all of LFR. You know what I mean?
We're gonna get
Yeah, I
into
know.
all
So I
that.
don't.
All
I
that.
didn't even want to go there. But so the world is a dangerous place. Sometimes it's hard to keep up the pace. We blow trees trying to escape, trying to run from these months. snakes all up in my face. You talk a good game, homie. You invaded my space. You feel me? That's kind of that.
Yep,
That's
that's
it. What
it.
you was talking about, you know. And I just wrote that too, so
Yep.
I'm like, all right, we'll use that.
Let's go down the line. Okay, now let's go into the perfect cadence. Now, and a perfect cadence is the statement back home. So it makes sense like a perfect 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's just perfect. It goes up to its peak and comes right back down to its conclusion.
All right, let me think of something. Let's think of somebody who Most is a good rapper like that. You know what I mean? Let me think of something.
Okay. Give me an example.
Let's do can't even think of one of his songs right now. I have to hear something.
What about, how about like, let's say Run DMC, because back then it was pretty simple.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I'm the king of rock. Call me sire. You know what I'm saying? So the melody is almost like a bounce too. By the way,
yeah.
the perfect cadence of what you're talking about is kind of where hip hop kind of started too. Because
Yep.
it had to have that bounce, just like we do with a dance, right? It's the same kind of principle.
Exactly.
You got to ride that beat. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, NWA did it. Chuck D did it.
Has to go back. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
To go back. Chuck D's perfect.
Chuck D is real
with
yeah.
that, because he told the story from beginning up to the statement, yes. And he went to the conclusion.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Slick Rick too.
Yeah.
A lot of storytellers use the perfect cadence kind of measures. People who are great storytellers, you know, the Dana Danes, the Slick Ricks, Public Enemy. Go ahead. You was about to say something.
Well, storytellers, they kind of use a combination for me of perfect cadence, imperfect cadence, and plagal cadence. We're going to touch plagal cadence later. And they kind of like contort the three aspects and kind of utilize it, because a story has its high peak and then it has its low conclusion. Right. So storytelling is kind of like that. Okay, perfect is good. Now let's go into the interrupted cadence.
Right.
Now interrupted cadence is like it's almost, it sounds like it wants to go home, but it doesn't. So it's almost like I want to talk about, let's see, how you feel today. Just that's an example of a perfect of an interrupted cadence. It's almost like it wants to go home, but it doesn't.
Right. So it like
kind of takes you around and then it goes back. It's like a trick, kind of like it makes like a U-turn and then it goes back onto the straight road until it's done.
All right.
How would you explain that?
Right.
Interrupted.
Interrupted. So that's a lot of clever writing too. Like the style that people take on. A lot of abstract writers will use something of that essence, you know. Even
like who, for example?
I'm gonna tell you, MF Doom could do it. You know what I'm saying? Like
I was thinking about him. Yeah.
Like right away, him, Earl Sweatshirt, A$AP Rocky. You know what I mean? People were very interested in that, in like curbing it. You know, the way they play with the words. You know, Pasta News does it. You know what I mean? De La does it too, and it's like, but let's go to MF Doom. So feeding off the meat grind. You know, what's that? Accordion.
Yep, accordion.
I need to hear it though. I know this stuff by heart, but now I can't. Now I'm on the spot. Sorry, MF. But anyway, yeah, like how he bounces with his cuts. He is all over the place. And he's like, you think he's going to say something, and he uses a different term to say something, you know, to switch it up a little bit. And then he goes back into it. And you're always trying to find out where is he going. How the reason why he keeps you is because of that interference. Because you're thinking he's going to go along with this story. Boom! Then he takes a left turn, and you're like, what? And then you're like, so he captivated you now, because now you thought he was going one way and he flips it on you. You know, so he's a perfect example of that. You know what I mean?
Nice. Okay, let's go into plagal cadence. Now, in my opinion, your rap style is a plagal cadence of style. And like a plagal cadence is almost like you start with a sub statement and then you kind of go back home. So it's almost like Busta
Mm.
Rhymes, his
Yeah.
vibrato and how he rebuttals
Yeah.
himself, but you don't have that type of vibrato in your voice,
Right.
but your attack
Yeah.
is almost like it sounds like you have something else to
Right.
say.
Right.
So you start out with an attack and then you complete with your phrase. So for my example, hearing your rhyme style, I would say you're more playful.
Yes. Um,
Give me
so
for that.
so yeah, I like to I'm trying to think of a song now. So, all right, so the whole thing with that, like Busta Rhymes, like Busta Rhymes up in the place. True indeed. Yes, I catch reppin' that's word to my seed. You know what I mean? So I, I may not have that explosive with his voice or whatever. I do little things here for modulation or whatever,
It's more melodic.
but it's more melodic.
More melodic.
Like I like to
Yeah.
ride the stuff I'm hearing, just like how and it's
Right.
like you want to take a listener to a place where so they get exactly what you're saying in the lyric, especially on the lyricism, right? You want to make sure
Mm-hmm.
you grab your opening statement, that elevator pitch is right in the first 4 lines of your music, right there.
That's playful.
This is
Yep.
what the song is gonna be about. You know what I mean?
From the
Right from the
beginning.
beginning,
Yeah.
boom.
So yeah.
I so here's one from me. So many pages in this story, check our passport. Hit you with the futuristic flavor, then we blast off. Mr. Miyagi flows, wax on, wax off, that's all. Never fight for position, cause we crush the competition. I don't listen to repetition. These brothers lack a vision. My intuition is pissing on these wannabes like Arkell. Collecting that ice cream like Carvel. Double hockey sticks, we rock bells and we rock well. Agent Orange wanna build a wall, we crossing borders, leaving lanes to slaughter while we snatching up your daughters. It's only the first quarter and we scoring high. Chiefing on that fountain leaf, that's how we get just to get by, just to get by. Stars are beyond, it's fortified. Forget your politics, we dissing all your politics. Never burning bridges except in new establishments. SOBs destroying all accomplishments. You ought to know. You know what I mean?
What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna break down every cadence you did because you didn't just do the
Yeah,
playful. You went into the perfect, interrupted, imperfect. Yeah, I'm gonna break that down. It's gonna once I edit
yeah.
this, I'm gonna add every phrase you just said. I'm gonna put the cadence that was on there. I
No
got you.
doubt, brother. No doubt.
That was dope. That
Good
was
look.
dope. Okay. Let's go into song structure.
Yes.
What everyone like song structure is basically ABA format
Right.
or ABCA format. What's your song structure like? How do you go into it?
And so song structure is very important, and people don't really like to talk about it when it comes to hip hop, right? They think of
Hmm.
song structure when it comes to R&B music or maybe even
Right,
country, because you're singing,
right.
right?
And also, not to cut you off, a song structure for those that don't know is verse, chorus, bridge, verse. Something else
Yeah,
happens, but it
maybe,
goes back to the
right?
verse. Yeah,
So
right,
so
right.
a lot of times in hip hop, there's not a lot of hip hop songs that have like bridges, right? Like have,
No.
because like I said, you'll hear that more in like an R&B song, whatever. There's a
Right.
formal structure, if you will, for hip hop will be like a 16 bar verse, right?
Mm.
Hook, another 16
Hmm.
bar verse, hook, song's done nowadays, right?
The hook era, the 2000 era.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny too how things kind of evolved because now there was a time, especially let's start from 2000 going up, it was all about the hook. Like they didn't even care about lyrics. As long as the hook and people can sing it, oh, that's a hit song. Which,
Yeah.
but I think it's going back to it now with the hip hop you hear
Mm.
now. They do have a lot of different kind of structure, right? Because they're singing a lot on a lot of these new songs,
Mm.
right? When you
Mm.
can get an artist especially a hip hop artist who can like actually write a verse, do a hook, write a verse, do a hook, have a bridge, come back to the hook, and then finish it off. That's very rare. You know, just because of the way that hip hop moves, unless you got a singer on it or you really doing something creative, you don't really see a lot of the bridges as much as you do hip hop. But my
You
go
know,
ahead.
it's interesting. Sorry to
Mhm.
cut you off. It's interesting. I was watching this interview with the DOC,
Right,
and he was talking about his early days of coaching Snoop Dogg.
right,
He said when Snoop Dogg first came to him, Snoop Dogg had the lyrics.
right,
He just didn't have the song structure.
right.
And DOC, he said, if you got to tell a story. So he kind of taught Snoop how to tell stories.
Right.
And it goes back to what you're saying.
Right,
Yeah.
because like if a producer can get somebody to who's a really good writer, you know what I'm saying? Who's someone who can structure their songs on a hip hop tip as an R&B person, it's key because now
Mm,
you're the whole point of structuring the song is taking the listener on a journey, right? So your
right.
chorus, sometimes people start off with the chorus first or the hook first. They don't even say chorus no more. They say hook, right? So the hook and
Right.
chorus is the same thing. Some
Mm-hmm.
people will lead off with that, maybe talk in the beginning, right? When you
Mm-hmm.
played the song in the beginning, the intro, you had Buddha Love Jones doing his little poetry in the beginning. We'll call that the
Right.
intro, right? Right from the intro,
Mm-hmm.
we went right into the song. You might hear melody first, then it goes right into the song. Some
Mm,
hip hop cats will put a chorus in the front just to get so they know that's going to grab you right away. Let's put the chorus up front. Then we start writing our bars or spitting our bars. So the topic of the conversation is already in that hook. So you already got that because they put it in the beginning. They're
right.
going to express what they're talking about in that first 16 bars about the A part of the song. So the A part of the song was that hook first because they started that way. B is the message. Then they go back to an A, back to the hook again. You got another rapper. He's going to explain his B side, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
if you're really creative, that's where all the bridges and things of that stuff come into play because now you're building a song versus just spitting on the song. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So we have one on Ahmaud Arbery when he lost his life earlier this year.
Mm,
SOBs did a song that we actually put a bridge and everything in. You know, so it's just to be different, just to
okay.
build a song, and a lot of people don't do that now.
So we're gonna play that. Let's go into these videos.
Right.
Let's go into your first music video, Dance With Me.
Hey yo, first off, who I do it with, yo? You. You know what I'm saying? You made
Yeah,
this
right.
possible. You know what I'm saying? So let me give that respect right there and there.
Right? Yeah, I got Mike Clark, Euphoria in the piece. What up, man? We know the belly of the beast repping. Got Justice repping from Brooklyn. Get it strong.
Dance With Me and Porch Rhythms. That's the two joints we got on this one here.
No, let's
So
let it
look
be
out
us.
for this, man.
Yeah.
Soon come Japan. Yeah.
And the good
You are now in tune to the intangible.
Yeah, left field. Yeah, come on. Yeah, we go.
Robert Generate the Third.
Yeah, come on. What they talk about, just hop? Yeah, yo, this beat hits the backbone, the vertebrae. Have you flipping around like Circus Soleil? We came to get down and parlay. On the dance floor, these girls is twisting their hips like they making mojitos. Yeah, it's so beautiful. Make you wanna get up close and physical. Start the dance ritual. Who got the first round? We worked hard all week, now it's time to get down. Bend the elbows, flirt a little bit with these 5, 7, 6 hellos. See, you and my friends can get with me, bunk the rest. Get on some slum village, maybe maybe I'm selfish. Yeah, you're all mine. We can dine and wine later. Do the hustle. Let me see you work the glutes, my favorite muscles. Get free and feel free, baby. Dance with me. Come on.
Meet the dance franchise, dance with me. Fred Astaire, Sandman, this Gillespie's here. Set me free, oh yeah. My arm, leg a arm, hair release. Cause my soul is on fire from the dips and rolls. With flashbacks on my mind of my days in the sun. On the dance floor, doing it, tearing it up. With my boys all around me, cheering me on. Zoned out in cloud nine with my feces up. How to respect my flow, it's like a quiet storm. Cause I never been loud, but they heard me though. Every time I come around, they say, there he goes. Leaving mad footprints so they could follow clone. Giving birth to a style that I call my own. But watch out, cause time pass, so they act brand new. Like kicks in a box with the laces off. Out of control, I figure, cause my steez is raw. Never think it's so simple, rage is out of the door.
Out of the door, yeah, out of the door. Come on, we go. Boy, yeah.
That was an important year for me too, because that's when I got signed. I got signed to the indie label. You was working on the project with Justice, Marjorie, rest in peace, and like you came down on the train. It was actually spontaneous. You had called me, be like, "Yo, we're gonna film a video. You down to do it?" What? Yeah. Oh, all right, cool. Let's. You know what I'm saying? So it was very special to have all the peeps from Japan there, you there, Justice there, and the forming. When you came to the studio, because we shot this in the studio, that was the first beginnings of LFR. I wasn't even LFR yet. That was more. I was just getting Justice into writing, like into like let's do this for real. And LFR was just forming at that time because it was shout out to Sherry Ginyard, right? Shout out to Espy. They were there when it was starting in Justice, you know what I'm saying? So Ever Wonder, I don't even think was in it yet. You know what I mean? We seen Ever Wonder later, so he wasn't even in the picture as of yet. But yeah, like we were talking, but we didn't solidify anything yet. So that was the beginnings of LFR. That was my first time I got signed to a music label, and that was my very first video. And the video, I had to start off with Dance With Me because my name is C-Boogie, cat. You know what I'm saying? That's the essence right there. I love the boogie. So let's do a song called Dance With Me. And shout out to Robert III. I forget his last name. He made the beat, man. Shout out to him. Nasty producer. He was in DC, I believe, from the time. And we just wanted to show how we express ourselves dancing through lyrics. You know what I mean? And that's what
that's a great analogy, dancing through lyrics.
You know what I mean?
Nice. Okay, let's go into, before I go into the next video, I want to go into melody concerning the anacrusis. Anacrusis, for those that don't know, the anacrusis, there's 3 different types of crucis. There's the anacrusis, metacrusis, and the crucis. So now we're talking about the anacrusis. Well, basically, it's the upbeat before the downbeat. Like for example, happy birthday to you. Happy is the anacrusis because it starts on that expressive tone, and then there's a downbeat that proceeds right after that. In your rhyme style, for me, I hear a lot of that in your cadence. Am I wrong with that?
No, I do play with that a lot because I'm not like a really punchline kind of rapper. You know what I mean? So it's important for me to get your attention right away. If you're not gonna grab it if you're not gonna grab it for something slick I said or whatever, I gotta make that presence shown so you gravitate toward me, so you understand where I'm coming from. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you was explaining that, I thought of Meth, right? When he was like, the sun will come out tomorrow. There's a lot of cats who would start with a funny noise or high pitch or low pitch voice,
The sun will come out tomorrow.
You know,
Yes.
you know what I mean. So there's a lot. I think it also depends too on where the music's taking you, right? Because
Mm,
even though it might be in your song structure or what have you, like you rhyme naturally, or that's kind of your natural cadence of how you come off. When you hear something in the music that makes you want to pop off like that, that's more of for me anyway. That's more of the demand where it's coming from. If I hear the beat and it's demanding that, then I'm gonna give that. You know what I mean? If it's not demanding it, go
But
ahead.
that's more instinctual, no?
Sometimes, I mean, instinctual is still, it's just like dance, right? So when you're
Mm,
dancing, you're not just gonna go buck wild, even though you got all these tricks or whatever. You ain't gonna do that right away, right? You ain't gonna let loose
right,
quick. You got to warm up to it. You got to hear the
right,
beat a little bit. You got to see where it's going. Once you see where it's going,
right.
boom! Now you start showing some stuff and on the correct tense of the beat. When you might do an
Mm,
ear flare or do something crazy, it's got to build up to
mm,
that. You can't just come out rocking like that. Like you know what I mean? Like now I know you're not
right,
listening to the music, and you know what I'm saying? So it
right.
it, it all depends. You know what I mean?
Do you have an example of an anacrusis that if you can spit, or
Let's see.
another rapper? Or let's see what you got.
Um, um, all right. This is it's not really high off, but you'll see where I'm going with it, right? So I'm like, home of the brave, land of the free. This is America they want you to see. They shoot and shoot and shoot. And why the cops in the background looting? Don't fall for the trap they producing. Gotta fight back or we end up losing. It feels like we living in an episode of Watchmen. Listen to the showman. These dudes really got us locked in. Knee to the neck, throw your rights to the curb. What happened to the vow protect and serve? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of that,
Yep.
you know.
Perfect.
And again,
That's
that was the
perfect.
beat that I was, the beat motivated me to
Mm,
move that way, or to say that in
mm,
that kind of essence,
mm,
where I'm not just gonna, I
mm.
don't write just to write. You know what I mean? Like I hear a
Right.
beat, I'm just gonna write a song, just no matter what it is, the 16 beats.
Well, wait.
Uh, uh.
That's our second subject. But before we touch,
Word up.
I want to go into the second video, which is Boog's Vibe,
Ooh,
LFR.
yes, Bugs vibe.
This is Boog's Vibe. Feel it all up in your bones while I'm here at this Jones. You got a good look right here. No need for you to go there. We all created equal, so this beat it be lethal. Caress your eardrum, you start the eargasm. Your head nod, body responds and then spasm. You're shook, cause ain't no such thing as halfways. Man on my own, so I don't do it his way. That's raw. See, that's my definition. Child of a lesser MC on a mission. Mind so vivid, it pours through composition. Boast all you want, you're not my competition. I'm in my own lane, I'm in my own time. Outer space ventures that you left behind. Pure galaxies with innovative designs. Like a drug binge, cook up, ghost of mine. Got busters saying, heal up, come rewind. Just coast up and let the rhythms play. Hook up headphones, beats, courtesy by Dre. Play at Burger King, dog, you can have it your way, yo.
This is no joke, son. C-Books, yup, he can be a bad one. We can talk girls, talk trucks. Who got the biggest gun? Too much of that. Nah, let's just have fun.
Just chillax, man, and drink this Heineken. The good weather's here, come on, we gon' let you in. We gon' vibe tonight, we gon' vibe tonight, we gon' vibe tonight, we gon' vibe tonight, we gon' vibe tonight,
We gonna vibe tonight. We gonna vibe. We gonna vibe. We gonna vibe. We gonna vibe tonight. We gonna vibe tonight. We gonna vibe tonight. We gonna.
This is the best of fundamentals. Breathe through life with the help of instrumentals. Not a day old, brother, I'm an old pro. Check my Slumville, get up on this disco. You in a good mood, opposite of minstrel. This model girl stuck up and so dismal. Overrated chicks really gotta let it go with pink and Pepto. You snooze, it's your loss. Your attitude need calibration. So true. Either that or you really need some good penetration. Not to get fresh with you, I'm just saying. Please don't play me no mind, I'm just playing. But back to the topic at hand, I got plans to make some currency overseas and make grants.
Revolution now, rebel music put in work. Make a billboard for May 21st. False prophecies, I make a dynasties. Burning off friends like I do calories. Clear it and protect it like you, my allergies. Only real in my circumference, I'll make this masterpiece. Yeah, yeah.
This is no joke, son. C-Books, yup, he can be a bad one. We can talk girls, talk trucks. Who got the biggest gun? Too much of that. Nah, let's just have fun.
Just chillax, man, and drink this Heineken. The good weather's here. Come on, we gon' let you in. We gon' vibe tonight. 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 We gonna vibe tonight. We gonna vibe. We gonna vibe. We gonna vibe. We gonna vibe tonight. We gonna vibe tonight. We gonna vibe tonight. We gonna. Ever wonder this goes out to you, man? My man Just, it goes out to you too. Touch sounds, this goes out to you, to my homegirl Scribe, goes out to you, to my dude named Greg, goes out to you, yeah. OVS, it goes out to you, yeah. Metal music goes out to you, to my man Ja Freedom, it goes out to you. Yo, Hall of Fame, this is for you, to my dude named Hop, this is for you, yeah. Low Cash, Buddha Jones, De La, this goes out to you, yeah. Jerobi, yeah, to you, Butter V, yes, it's to you, Speak Green, this goes out to you, yo, Alma, yeah, this to you, yeah, yeah, yeah. Big Leaf, it goes out to you, yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. Books Vibe. I want to segue a little bit, and let's talk about the cameo of Peter Paul.
That's my man. Peter Paul, Khalif in there, Justice in there.
Yeah, go into that.
So the whole concept with this, and I think I released this maybe 2 years ago. I just wanted people. There was so much in the music going on, you know, with things changing and whatever. You know what I mean? And how the whole climate of hip hop was at the point in time. I just wanted people just to have fun, man. Vibe out with me. You know what I mean? Like, just vibe with me. Just vibe, bro. You know, that's why in the hook, when I'm like, yo, this ain't no joke, son. C-Boogs, yep, he can be a bad one. We can talk this or that. Who got bigger guns? Yo, forget all of that. Let's just have fun. Yo, chillax, man, and drink this again. The goods weather here. We gonna let you in. We gonna vibe tonight. We gonna vibe tonight. We gonna vibe. So the whole thing of where the culture was at the time, everybody was just hard and gangster, and I'm gonna smack this one. I'm gonna take these pills. Come on, man. Have fun, man. Hip hop was fun too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the fun part brought a lot of people together, because right now, if I DJ and I put on something classic, everybody gonna come to the floor, have fun, dancing, vibing out. That's what I wanted there. Now, to your point of Peter Paul, I feel like Peter Paul is one of the most OGs that are slept on the most, bro.
The most.
Like the epitome. Like everybody should know about Peter Paul. B, Double P, Stretch, they're all the same, bro. And I feel like, you know, I understand, like, because he's doing other things now, big things. It kind of gets slided or whatever, because he's moving in different circles at this point in time in his life. But he knows the game, he knows the hip hop, he knows that feel, and I feel like having him. And it's funny because when I put him in a video, I haven't heard anybody about, oh, yo, that's Peter Paul, like. Because Cat's probably,
crazy.
Yeah, like Cat's probably even forgot. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to him. That's my man, the Twin Towers right there, Peter Paul and Khalif. You know, and they.
I always say with Peter Paul, for me, represents swag.
Yes.
Like,
yes. The gear.
We hear people talk about swag
Yes.
and being cool, and he embodied that.
Yes.
Not just in his dancing, but just in his mannerisms. Like, he embodied the word swag on a natural element. Nothing was forced.
Nah.
And it's like you said, it's a shame that people saw that video and no one even tests to mention, yo, that's Peter Paul.
Yo.
I mean, whatever reasons that may be, but
Yeah.
our culture is that important that you got to know the people involved in it.
Right.
Just like you know your Slick Ricks and your Public Enemies and your Busta
You know what I'm
Rhymes. That's
saying?
cool,
Yeah.
but know your platoons. You got to know your Kwame. You got to know your, oh my God, Sir Abu. You got to know your Just. You got to know them.
Yes, and that's the thing. It's like, you know, just having him there was it actually changed the spirit of the song. It actually made it more profound for me because I always looked up to Peter Paul. You know what I mean? Especially on the dance tip when I first seen him. And 10 Thieves, yo, this dude's a hip hop legend, bro. He was signed to the same level with Tribe and all them, like stretching them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Let's be real. So 10 Thieves,
Yep.
he knows his way around a mic. You know what I'm saying? Normal, you know, whatever the kids say nowadays. But he know how to crush a microphone. You know what I mean? And he knows.
Absolutely.
And then on the dance floor, like just what you said. First of all, his swag, like he made it. He made it a design look when he came on the floor. Like he came hardcore with the illest gear. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He made you want to buy it. He made you want to buy it.
He was a dancing billboard. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yo, what Peter wearing today? Yo, oh, I'm copping those joints. You know, and then how he moved in the fly gear like crazy. You know, so
real talk.
That helps me on the hip hop tip too, because I want to come in like that too. I'm a laid back dude. I get hyped, but I'm laid back. You know, I like to be smooth with mine. So that whole Bugs vibe is just that it concentrates on not just my vibe, it's everybody's vibe. Who's ever in the circle, you know what I mean? Whoever we're around, we like to chill. We like to party with our friends and our family. We like to get down, shoot, you know, shoot the breeze, whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Nice. Okay, let's go into songwriting. You're briefly describing that.
All right.
What's your songwriting style?
So, when you were saying that Plago cadence, that definitely is something how I write specifically, of course. But like again, so strong song structure and songwriting, it to me has to come to a place where when you start off rhyming, when I started off rhyming, I was just rhyming about anything, you know, just to get my bars up, just to perfect the craft or what have you. And then when you start getting substance, or first when people start telling you they like your stuff, right? And now that means they're listening, right? So to get that going, my structure had to change somewhat from how I were perceiving it. Because remember I told you I used to write in poetry first, right? So I used to write like you know, there's different styles of poetry, haikus, all that kind of stuff. And to me, playing with words and trying to get people to understand something I'm saying, but on a colorful aspect, has always been my writing style. You know what I mean? I wanna make you think outside the box as regards to a topic we're talking about or something we're saying. You know what I mean? And so that was very important to me when it comes to writing style. Like, and again, the beat motivates and tells you how you're gonna approach. Number one, I don't usually just write, as people say, throwaway rhymes or whatever. I need to hear the substance of the music. I need to hear where the beat is going. And like, let's say you send me a beat, right? First thing I'm gonna do to it before I write, I gotta hear. Now, if it grabs me right away, that's a different story, right? But let's say you said something hot. I listen to the first minute, boom, I'm bobbing my head. Oh, this that boom bap or whatever it is. Okay, that first minute gives me the essence of where the beat, what the song should be, right? And, you know, and just because we're talking about this, if you hear a slower beat, kind of melodic, sometimes that make you want to tell a story. Maybe you want to talk about a chick or something like that. Whatever the case may be, you could tell by the tempo of the beat where you want to approach it. It's something all hardcore and hyped up. Any up, you know. So when they heard that beat, when MOP heard that beat, they knew they couldn't come soft on that beat. That beat dictated what needs to be said. You couldn't just say, "Any up, yo, cop that fool," and the beat's like, bam, bam, bam. You know, so you have to to me, a lyricist has has to accommodate and has to tell the story of what the beat is saying. Like you got to play off that. You got to accommodate where the beat can't say in words, but what it's talking about. You know.
So going in from that, let's touch on the SDL's theme song, which is going to be debuted on this interview.
Right.
Left field rhythms, y'all.
That's right.
Storms are beyond, y'all. Street dance lifestyle, y'all. Yeah. SDL, y'all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Word. It's SDL, yo, it's time to tell the truth of the where, what, why, and when, and who. How we flip the unpredictable wordplay. You hear the stories, but it's still the same old say. Here we go with a magazine already classic material. Some videos, some super extra talented, but everyday people. A podcast, a magazine, a platform intended just to be creators following their dreams. Whether dancing on that pine wood floor with baby powder, or musicians playing the instrument of their choice. It gives them power. Or an MC riding on the rhythm, spitting fire, lifting and inspires whatever your desire. So just watch and pay attention to the culture we dive in. With Mike Euphoria, LFR, how we make it blend.
Yeah, we about to make it blend. Yo, so what's your movement? LFR, yo, we going in. Ha. So tap into your inner senses. Verses, unified expression captured in a sentence. Right. To paragraphs of collective interest. A feeling of euphoria whenever the audience decides to listen. With pictures clear at high definition. Illustration demonstrated, close your eyes so you can see the vision. Physically trapped in the box of third dimension, but the mental is eternal, able to see the outer limit. Ha.
It's SDL, yo, it's time to tell the truth of the where, what, why, and when, and who. How we flip the unpredictable wordplay. You hear them stories, but it's still the same old say. Hey, hey.
I cooked up a beat. I produced it, and I basically sent the beat to you.
Shout out to you.
When you heard the beat, thank you, sir. When you heard the beat, what went through your head when you heard that beat to basically say what you said?
All right, so it's a very jazzy type of feel, right? It's very melodic, very jazzy type of feel, and especially because it's for an intro. So there's some context here too, because I knew what the concept was. But let's say you didn't give me a concept. You know what I mean? Let's just say that, yo, here's a beat I made, bless it for me.
You heard it on top.
You know what I mean? So when I'm listening to that beat, you know, again, first minute, I listened to first minute just to get a feel of where it was going. So even without the concept or whatever, it's going to be dictated in how I talk to you or how I spit my verse, right? So I can have a concept, so what? But when it comes to writing, you know, so we did the hook. Now I got to get off exactly what I want to say on this beat. I had to slow it down a little bit more because the beat tempo was a little slower, right? So you got to embrace that. You got to play. There's some little stops and pauses in there. You got to play to that. Now structure comes in even more different, because when you hear a beat completely, and then if the producer puts some stops in there, something, or a noise, or there's a pause, a beat drop in there, for a writer, you're gonna want to play on that. You know, you want to bank on that,
and that's why I put the pause in there. I put it twice.
Exactly. So you can play with that, right? So you can't just spit all over it and miss that part, because now you're cheapening the song, you're cheapening the beat, and you're cheapening yourself, because that would show more expressively your growth and how you write. So, you know, the tempo obviously is very important. The feel of the songs.
BPM,
Yep. I know you want to get into that. But the BPMs are going to dictate what level of the song, how you're going to take it. Now you can be creative too, and like, You know, you'll hear a heartbeat and talk about a chick just to flip it on people, but that's just special occasions, whatever. But usually, when that beat, once you feel that rhythm, once you hear them melodies together, that's gonna dictate how you're gonna write your song.
Yes, sir. Let's go into another video. Wordplay, Big Leaf.
Word, shout out to Big Leaf.
Yo, Leaf, though, you had the directions? This dude had directions, man.
I don't know. You know what?
I can tell you, man.
I think I'm gonna ask these people right here. Excuse me. Can you tell me where the speakeasy is?
Speakeasy, my brother. BET, my brother. I might think it might be over. I think right here, my brother. Right there.
Thanks a lot.
All right, you be easy.
All right, now.
Yes, yes.
I'm not really sure. I'm gonna ask you.
Yeah, excuse me. Y'all just keep doing it.
Yeah, brother. It's right over there, brother.
What? Hey, who in the hell? What y'all, so what can I do for y'all? I'm trying to conduct business. Sound check? What sound check? Ain't nobody told.
Let us rock.
Come right in, gentlemen, but ain't nobody told me about no. I'm gonna kill somebody. This way, please. Trying to conduct business. Get your. Why come ain't nobody told me about a sound check?
I was like, yeah.
Think about that.
I was like, yeah.
Think about.
Word to the wise, nigga, open your eyes. It's no surprise why they hate you guys. You got bucking, that's what made you rise. I've been wrecking shots since 92 when hip-hop wasn't kind of you. In most of these clubs, I wasn't finding you. Who the fuck you lying to? This man has been in a time machine and came to see everything. Even witnessed the Big Bang. People always came to be places that they wasn't, to keep their light buzzing. Feel the need to share my success by telling all the rest that you was better than the best I ever do it. I flow like fluid, there ain't nothing to it, but most of the time I want some cool shit. I go hard, I got mouths to feed. Indeed, I make a nigga bleed. If he's stepping out of line, I put his body in a place where it'll be hard to find. Cause I'm slaying these retards, kicking this G-hole. From here to Baghdad, these fools will get thrown in rehab. Beat them from the finish line before the closing credits. Couldn't fuck with me because I'm lyrically athletic. You might need a medic when I start to set it like.
I was like, yeah.
Think about that.
I was like, yeah.
Think about that.
I was like, yeah.
Think about that.
I was like, yeah.
Think about
Hey yo, we buzzing, cousin. How you thought we wasn't? Hating on the sideline, but your chick loving it. Watching her toes tap and her finger snap and head bobble. You can't deny what's happening. I'm intergalactic, you not to the fashion. Authoritarian while we freeing the masses. Let it bump in the trunk loud, it might cause crashes. We break mics to bits, burn rappers to ashes. Flowing effortless comes with years of practice. Encouraging y'all not to quit, keep pursuing your passion. But don't never ever ever try to outmatch this, outclass this. Lyrically we busting your asses, reducing your status to that of a peasant. Now you scrubbing feet like you got a foot fetish, so forget it. Every rhyme is crispy like lettuce. The beat is crunchy funk for all y'all to smell it, nigga. I was like, yeah.
Think about that.
I was like, yeah.
Think about that.
I was like, yeah.
Think about that.
I was like, yeah.
Think about
Hey yo, we smash dudes, wreck fools, turn you into vegetables, totally ahead of you. Lyrical and literal with liberties and principles. Grew up in a habitat that danger's indisputable. Trust me, no love lost, that's why it's so challenging. Niggas want us to sound modern, but the modern ain't sounding right. Producers, get your head right. Hella far, we hella tight. That's right, it's game night. Maybe it's a different era, but still the same fight. Used to think we need a superstar on the track, but that was a bad dream. Some of my best friends, my favorite MCs, exploiting the what, man, we do this for the family. We talking organics, not the icky, sticky greenness. Smell and taste, yo, we talking about it later. But right now my mind is working on the cape of y'all like that.
I was like, yeah.
Think about that.
I was like, yeah.
Think about that.
I was like, yeah.
Think about that.
I was like, yeah.
Think about.
Big up
Talk about that video, brother.
So this is all a good time frame too, because this is where we're all getting back together and really doing some music together. So during this time, man, I had Inner Soul coming down. Shout out to Chris. You know, I had Peter Paul. Yeah,
Chris.
man.
Woo.
I had Chris coming down. I had Peter Paul coming down. Khalif was coming down. Stretch was coming down. I should say coming up because it was coming up to Connecticut. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, Voodoo Ray, rest in peace. He was coming down. Say Cool, what's up, brother? He was coming down. You know what I'm saying? Um, Jose from Dance Fusion, Capoeira. You know, he was here.
Yes, Jose Figueroa.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
You know, Jeff Freedom. You know what I'm saying? He was here a lot, and the vibe was created. You know, so when we started on making Big Leaf's album, he wanted his fam on there. So the video concept was one of the illest, and shout out to Ray Bailey because he's the one who do pretty much all my videos. And we had this place downtown where DJ Danny Williams works. It's called Bridgeport Creates, right? And Danny works there. And we were like, yo, can we use this place to do this video? Because he had the concept, Big Leaf had the concept of making it into some 60s, 70s speakeasy type place. Because you know, you hear the
Like Master.
Yeah.
And Music Man.
Music Man, yeah. And you know the piano and music, same kind of thing. You hear that bum 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 bum, right? So you hear that, it makes you think of that swing. You know, remember Commons? I am music. Remember that with Jill Scott? It's kind of got that swing,
Scott,
that
yes,
feel.
sir.
So when we were thinking of the concept, man, we said I wish we took before and after pictures of that place because the place looked like a speakeasy back in the day. You know what I mean? It looked like a place where it was a cool spot to hang out, but you had to be connected to get in there, you know? And shout out to Jeff Selsby, you know what I mean, who came through. There was a lot of dancers in there. First of all, we connected the dancers. You know, Stretch came through, and this girl came through. You know what I mean? Yuko came through, represented. Blessings. There was a lot of cats out there. Mindful, you know who you are. Everybody out there who came out, we appreciate you. And it was like we wanted to keep that whole essence of a speakeasy. You had to have a code to get in there. You know what I mean? Shout out to Silky too, because he's a funny dude, man.
Silky. Yeah.
That's my man, yo.
Good brother Silky.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, good brother Silky. Okay, so I want to touch on like the last subject of this segment. Let's talk about the music, or let's talk about the evolution or de-evolution of the musical structure.
Yeah.
In hip hop.
Yes.
I feel the music did not evolve, but it modulated from the 2 and the 4 tempo to melodicism. But some elements of the music did evolve, like the musical technology evolved, lyricism evolved,
right.
The dance evolved.
Right.
But the musical structure is still a 4-bar art. And I had an idea, like, what if you took the rhyme styles of certain artists and turned that into a musical structure? Like, for example, let's say artists like MF Doom, Mos Def, Pharoah Monch, Andre 3000, Busta Rhymes, Nas. Imagine if you took their lyricism, wordplay style and conformed that into an actual musical structure.
Yeah.
Like, that would be crazy.
I mean,
like, break that down if you can.
I mean, just think. So, like you said, some things just ain't go back to the beginning. Yes, it has stuck with the same kind of pattern, only because it's been working for so long. It kind of staples. It's kind of a staple in hip hop, and also too, man. You know you're gonna get your artists that way. There's some people and some artists who go against the grain, of course, you know, and maybe flip it and do it a little different. But the essence of it is kind of, you're right. It's still the same. It's the even with the A/B type of setting. That's
Right.
still the same kind of concept that's been winning and working forever, right? Um, when you was talking about some of the artists, I thought of Busta Rhymes, right? So imagine Busta Rhymes dancing. What would he look like when it's like yo 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 yo
Mm-hmm.
yo yo yo? So it's like and like Nas, you know how slick he got his fedora on, whatever. He's slick in the back. That's how he'll be moving. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to him rhyming and dancing, taking his rhyme style into a dance. But this is what I wanted to say. Everybody, let's just talk about dance hip hop dudes who are dancers, right? Everybody who
Mm.
does hip hop and dance, it's the same. They rhyme the way they move. Plain and simple. There's no way around it. I don't care who you are. The way you rhyme is
Absolutely.
exactly how you dance. And you see it too, man. And it's dope. That's me too. That's everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love
Mm-hmm.
that. That's what the fingerprint on it is. So when you see some cats
Mm-hmm.
who rhyme and they could dance too, you're gonna see that. You're gonna see that in the way they move.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna see that in how they present themselves when they rhyming. There are
Mm.
explosive writers who are very explosive in their dance, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's some calm, mediocre writers who just groove. They grooving in the circle. You know what I mean? They just get busy. And
Mm.
it's like you can see that steez in their dance and you can hear that
Mm.
steez in their music. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Name what were some of the artists you named?
MF
Yeah.
Doom, Mos, Faramach, Andre 3000, particularly for me, Andre 3000, if you turned his lyrical style into a musical
Yeah.
format, man, Busta Rhymes and Nas. Yeah.
Yeah. Bus and Nas, I said. Let's Andre 3000. It's funny, like he will be Joey to me. Like
Mm.
like that abstract style of how Andre 3000, his all his cadences and everything and how he spit, you know, that will be beautiful to see as someone dancing like that with how he rhymes. You know what I mean?
What song comes to mind when I'm talking about that is when Andre did that collab with John Legend.
Which one again? Which was it on that double
Um,
CD?
um, Man, if they had the video for where Andre's wearing the white suit,
I can't think of it right now.
green light.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm looking this stuff up while you're saying it too. So
It's like, if I can think of a line, he says, "I'm just freestyling, stop freeing." I mean,
he's
that his whole,
it's
and of course, Players International.
oh yeah.
With,
Yeah.
that opening. I mean,
You can't even say
what else is there to say?
yeah, exactly. What is there to say, bro? Amazing. You
What?
seen by the way,
Just that opening.
you seen that sidebar real quick. You seen that Outcast versus Tribe for verses?
No.
Yeah, they're trying to do that next, bro. Tribe.
Who you think will get that?
I'm always gonna be biased to Tribe. They're the ones who,
I think Outkast take it because they took it more. I mean, Tribe opened the door for them to be where they
no
are,
doubt. But
in a way.
are we talking if they're doing 20 for 20 hits? Man, I gotta go with my Quest, man. I gotta go with Tribe,
I think Outkast kind of
We
got
gonna
them.
talk when it happens,
Like,
bro.
when you think about
We gonna talk when it happens. But
Sorry, Miss Jackson, Hey Ya, all that.
dope.
Oh man, Aliens,
All right, so
Art of
come on,
Storytelling.
dude. War Tour, right? Let's,
Yeah, but this was the dawn. This was when the sound was maturing. Like I said, I mean, it was Tribe was still underground, but that's when it was that crossing over period.
right.
So the Tribe opened up the door for Outkast to be where they
See,
are.
there's a little gap in there only because when Tribe broke up for a bit and Outkast was still doing music. And I remember Andre 3000, I forget what song he was spitting, but 3 Stacks was like, yeah, I'm kind of mad that my favorite group broke up, you know, and he did a whole verse on that. But like, the innovative, I get where you coming from with Outkast, like you know, when Hey Ya and all that came out, Q-Tip put out an album, by himself, Come Out of Abstract. And it came before that, but people wasn't ready for that movement. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People wasn't ready for when Hey Ya came out, it popped so big and things were just crazy with it. But Tip did that back, and it didn't get the same reception. Only the fans, you know what I mean? But I felt like if he would have really embraced that, like they did that, they would have seen. But I'm looking forward to the battle, man. I know it's gonna be something special. You know what I mean? But we'll be talking about that.
Yeah. All right, brother. So this concludes the first half of the interview. So let's log back off and log back on for part 2.
All right, cool. See you in a minute.
All right.